Do you like that?
I'm
one?
the
Is that
soundboard
good?
guy.
I can't
Second
join.
vocalist. No, you can't.
Dang, dude. This is ruthless. Can I do anything?
We've been
Am I
wondering
pretty
that for
much
years.
useless?
Yeah, I mean, I would say that.
Gosh, dang it,
I think
dude.
that's what Lamb Goat called you, right?
Yeah, dude, for real.
Yeah, I was the overproduced. No, we're overproduced.
Where does
deathcore.
a clean vocalist fit in an overproduced deathcore band with 2 vocalists?
I don't know, dude. My grandma seems to really like it.
Dude, at the...
What, Lamb Goat? Grandma's hard as hell, bro.
This is some real bullshit shit, dude. This sounds nothing like... I don't know, what's a fucking hardcore band?
Pissed On.
Pissed On.
That was the one Cody always would talk about.
Wait, that's a real band?
No, it's
Pissed
not,
On?
but it sounds like it would be.
Oh,
it's like
Pissed
it's like inverse of like Knocked Loose.
What was-
They
Yeah.
all have like prepositional.
Right.
What was the
right.
song that Cody was trying to get us to like listen to and enjoy the other day? That had like Guy Fieri or something. Not Guy Fieri, but it wasn't Guy Fieri. It was a Papa Roach guy.
Jer is something. I don't know. Like the
Yeah.
remix thing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a Mongolian
No, it was a
band.
different one. Because I know the
There's
Yeah.
another one?
Yeah, I know the remix you're talking about because when he pulled it up, I thought that's what he was going to play. But there was that, he showed it to us in the studio, right?
Yeah, well, he was trying to reference like not a didgeridoo being used, but like a different Mongolian instrument. And he was like, "Oh, there's this Mongolian band you should check out that has Jacoby Shaddix."
That's what it was.
That's
Yeah.
so weird.
And I'm like, Cody, I'm failing to see the example here. Well, actually, this song kind of goes hard, dude.
And it was like I cannot remember where they were from, but all of Jacoby Shaddix's shots were like in front of an American flag.
Oh yeah,
Badass.
badass.
Super out of
with like
place.
with
Papa fucking Roach.
I just want to assert here that while the other people here are not from America, I definitely am, so please don't
right.
forget.
And he had like a chain link fence to back that up behind the flag, like in case you forgot.
Yeah.
Man.
But
Tell us you're a Papa Roach fan without telling us you're a Papa Roach fan.
those have been great. To
I
be honest,
love
because
those, dude.
Not one of them is a good look for Papa Roach.
The one you made joke, the fact that it didn't have audio made it even funnier. Tell us you're a Papa Roach fan without telling us you're a Papa Roach fan, and just like you had like the subtitles and just like no. You put back the no pretty close, but the no audio made it so much better.
Dude, I know. I've been inactive on TikTok as of recently. I got a 1 strike down, so it's discouraging.
You got a strike?
How many do they give you?
Wait,
Huh?
How many do they give you before they suspend your account?
Oh, I have no idea. It just discouraged me.
Before the IRS shows up.
now.
Maybe, yeah. That's why I'm not viral yet, dude. TikTok shadow banned me.
If all 5 people that end up listening to this, Joey.piss on TikTok.
Dude,
Please watch
Check
them.
it
you're
out.
in for a ride, baby.
You literally posted
Hop on the piss trains. That's my little thing.
bold, dude. You literally posted cowboy dicks.
I did post some cowboy dicks, which is why it got taken down, which is fine. I understand, but
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, work.
it's art.
Yeah, it's art, first and foremost. If the Chinese government can't handle a couple of cowboy raw dogs,
Then I don't know
Come on.
I
why
don't
they even
think I
did
want to
it.
live in that country anymore.
Honestly, dude.
Are they still Chinese owned? Did they end up getting bought
Oh, yeah.
out? Like,
They have
Oh,
an
yeah.
American branch, which is like,
okay, that makes
it's like Roman rule, regionally held, which was maybe going to get sold to Microsoft because people were flipping out.
yeah.
So you're telling me there's Chinese sleeper cells in U.S. running TikTok?
And I'm one of them.
It's got interesting.
Is my audio? Yeah, it looks like it's recording. Or
That's
it looks like
rare.
it's picking it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just need to like stop being a little wussy, dude.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a back seat for this one, guys. You
I
guys
just
go ahead.
picture
I'm
some
gonna
like
turn the mic off.
mega TikTok star doing some dance, and then just out of nowhere you hear like execute order 66, and kill every American in the fucking room. Dude.
But it's like the order executions in Mandarin.
Starts throat singing.
Dude, David Dobrik is a sleeper cell. Let's talk about him. You guys know
Okay,
what
so
I'm
hold
talking
on, hold
even
on.
know
Somebody
who that
explain
is.
David Dobrik to me, because I know he's like super popular, but
I
where
can't.
it just came out of nowhere.
I know.
I
can't do it.
tried. Like, I really did. Like, I kept seeing. it started when like I started seeing him blow up on TikTok too, and like I'd heard the name and I was like, dude, the hype has to be about something.
Right.
Like it has to be warranted. And then I watched like a couple of his vlogs and I was like, nothing is happening.
Yeah.
Like this is not even remotely.
Hey guys, I'm David Dobrik. Hey, I just bought my friend a new car.
Oh, I do know that guy.
Yep, that's him. That's one of the like 4 million vloggers.
Dude, I gotta get that down. I feel like I
I
can't.
was gonna say, I feel like between this and the next episode, we should record a dedicated soundboard of just you emulating soundboards.
I'm so down.
And we
with
can
this.
just live those for 2 hours.
All right, we posted a little diddly-do on Facebook, known as a status to some. A couple people weighed in with some stuff they want us to talk about, so let's do that real quick. First person that commented asked, why fantasycore and why did you choose the Wise Man's Sphere over other book series of the same genre?
I'll answer that one. I'm kidding.
Becoming recently literate myself, I'm going to go ahead and...
I just started reading 3 days ago.
Y'all ever heard of that green eggs and ham joint? That's powerful stuff.
Dude, I feel like we talk about this with a couple people, and the honest to goodness answer why fantasycore is because we are white, suburban, Midwestern
Facts.
boys.
Yeah.
Like,
What else did we do when we were kids?
I feel like the relationships, all of the problems you can sing about in a bad relationship have already been sung about. And, like, there's just like nothing to sing about, that
also,
I feel like
like the
it's
worst
personal.
stuff that we have ever had experience is like the best day in West Africa.
Right.
You know,
Right.
Like they're stoked if their car breaks down because it means they had a car. With Joe, I feel like you've had crazy stuff happen in your life.
But not as crazy as a night raiding a castle in the sky.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying?
But honestly, it's like I feel like something that we all talked about at the onset from when we started with the fantasycore moniker was just like, dude, if we're writing all these hootin' hollering angry boy songs about just like being a white man in middle class America, it's like, how far out of touch with reality do you have to be for that to feel like you're oppressed?
It never
much.
ages well either. Like,
No. Yeah, it's like look at any record from 10 years ago that was complaining about relationship problems for the whole album, and it's like nobody's throwing that on a Hall of Fame somewhere.
Yeah. There are enough songs about crippling depression already. We don't need to
I don't know about that
anymore.
one. That's where I draw the line in the sand.
As far as the book inspiration goes, that one, basically the short answer is like that was what I read going into college, and that's when we started up the band. It was like,
Yeah.
it rocked my world
Just a
in a
little
big
bit.
way. So it was kind of cool because that was like a different mechanism of storytelling that sort of changed what I thought about how, like, fantasy novels up to that point had always been like, that was fun, there was a sword, there was a dragon, and some magic, but that one was like a thinker.
Let's be real, Paul. You just heard Of Mice and Men. You're like, oh, I got to name this band after a book too.
That's
dude.
so true, yeah.
yeah.
And they took the only good one that had like expired the copyright. But yeah, I mean the narrative voice in that series, like everything about how it's written is super creative and challenging to the sort of status quo of fantasy novels, which results in a good read, boys.
Yes, it does. I'm enjoying
It's
it
a good
myself.
There's also plenty of like heavier bands on the more storytelling side that we've always liked, like Make Them Suffer, and for me,
Dude,
Alisana,
yeah.
and I always enjoyed that theme more.
Dude,
than,
you can take
Cry
it.
About Your
There's like an endless amount of possibilities that you could, potentially write about in every song. And so,
So true.
versus, like the relationship thing, the depression thing, of course, all real issues. But
Did you guys like Alisana back in the day?
I never got into them, but I also was working with like rural dial-up in the school I went to. Like all the music that I pirated growing up, which was like everything I listened to, was all just like a manual USB trade between.
Got him. He pirated music. Move in, boys.
We're gonna
IRS.
lose. Joe Biden comes in like, Paul.
Whips off the aviators, it like breaks my half.
There's another set under him. I've been expecting. For
no, he wouldn't know your name. Bobby, Billy.
Chester.
Remind me, are you mine?
Yeah.
Who's your mother?
Hold on a minute. I gotta go. What am I here for?
Forgot my medication.
Here's that USB yours.
Brad's kid. That's the one.
That's the tip.
Good kid. Well, anyways, it's nice seeing you, boys.
I don't remember what I was here to do.
We got it.
And I don't remember what I left to get here, but I gotta get back to it.
I'll consider this a success for today.
Wait, is this the press conference?
Where's the camera? Just point to it.
Damn it, not again.
Joe, that's Mr. President, that's a dresser you're talking to.
That's a dresser with googly eyes on the front. That's a convincing. That'd be a fine young woman if she had something more scanty on than just that normal dresser paint.
God damn, look at those knobs.
Sure don't make them like they used to, and that's a good thing.
But, back in the day, it was all USB trade. Me, Laura, Mogi, friends from high school, we just pass a USB back and forth. And if I didn't get it from there, I basically didn't. Yeah, study hall, boom, So, no, I never got into Asana, but heard a lot about them. Sounded cool.
Badass, dude.
Badass.
Loved them. A lot of great albums.
I enjoyed what I listened to from him, but that was another one kind of like Paul that I just didn't venture into too heavily, but I had some friends that were really big into it. So
I never had a huge Alice.
it's too busy listening to 50 Cent, dude.
True.
All those
I
guys.
was too busy
Akon.
listening to Akon, and I will
Akon,
never deny that. I am so proud of it.
Is Akon City done yet?
Dude, I wish.
Dude, it's about damn time.
I'm trying to go to Akon City.
Akon City.
Dude, I'm trying to reside in Akon City.
I'm trying to reside for
I'm
real.
trying to be buried in Akon City. Me and my Sims.
Trying to pack up everything I own and move to Akon City.
Consider this to be official. When I die, bury me in Akon City.
Yeah, dude, jot that down.
Yeah, quick concept album.
Tom's family in 50 years. I don't know, man. He said it on the podcast one time. Do you think he was like for real?
It's like a complete shithole to it. 30-year-old TV.
It never goes through.
Television.
There's like one semi-constructed building.
Yeah.
He just bails on the project.
Here we're getting Netflix next month, Joe. I don't know why they talk like that in Akon City.
But they're all they're also all named Joe. all 5 Akonites. Joe.
They're all Joe with a serial number after their name.
But they
Joe
can't,
0174.
they
responding.
can't speak. They're Akon's prophets and the only ones who are willing to follow through on it. So they all speak and sing like Akon. Like they can't talk in normal dialect.
They sample everything.
I think we're gonna starve this month.
Dang, dude, what am I even here for?
Dude,
That's true. We got Akon in the house right now. We're here with the Wise Guy, whatever it's going to be called, podcast with Akon. Akon, how you doing?
Acorn, how you doing?
So the next question that was on that Facebook post, which wasn't really a question, just the story of your guys' lyrics, exclamation point. 10-second, 1,000 foot in the air overview. There's a knight. He goes on a quest. He finds a castle. It's representative of the meaning of life. Quintessential human experiences happen along the way. The next record's a prequel that serves where all of his favorite terms of his enemies.
Was that a spoiler
bad.
alert? Did you just give away everything?
Yep. Next 5 albums are
Ruined.
yeah.
We're ruined. Pack it up, fellas.
Bruh.
I feel like
walkie slash.
the story for those records is just like a knight and his family in a feud over time. And I feel like, honestly, the best way to check it out is to read the notes on our Facebook page because
Yeah, those are actually awesome. Pretty
Forget half
pretty
the
in
stuff we put into
detailed.
that.
Yeah, right. There's a lot of awesome details in those, so check them out. The album
we got some
liner
video
notes.
explanations on YouTube.
Yeah, we do. on the
Right
newest.
below this video. Next question.
next question. It would be awesome to know what y'all have been working on and what are your plans for this year. I almost put another y'all in there just because I never used that word. What are y'all's plans for this year, y'all?
It's been a good year so far for the Wise Boys. We've
has.
been
It's
hitting.
gonna be our year.
It's
I
gonna
would
be
say.
big news. Big things coming, dude.
We're disbanding.
Disbanding.
Farewell tour on Zoom.
Farewell tour. But don't worry, we'll be back in 2 years.
Just in time for the dust to settle.
Right.
It won't even be that
The
long.
whole time we're just recording a comeback song.
We just got out of the studio earlier this month. This is February as of the recording date. But that was a pretty successful studio session. We're going back again this spring and wrapping up the 4th album.
DJ Tyler is Wise Man Spear.
Rex 105712.
There's blood everywhere. Power 106 lots of TWMF radio.
Veil of Kings, Kings, Kings.
Anyway, so hope that answers your question.
You were saying?
9 a.m. on CBS. But dude, I am hyped out of my mind for the new stuff. I always say that every record, like, dang dude, this is like the best stuff yet. But this stuff hits, so I'm really excited about it.
I was thinking about that earlier because we probably talked about this before, but every record we do, I'm like, dang man, like, I'm like almost worried for the next one because we're not gonna top that for sure. And it's happened 3 times in a row where I felt that, and now it's 4 times, even though we haven't committed vocals to most of these tracks yet. They still are leagues above.
I would say I haven't been this hyped on new music that we've worked on since like Castle, probably.
Would you say this is going to be our heaviest return to the old school?
So do you like Castle in the Clouds, kid? Coming next, like a day to remember type shit. We're like, this is going to be exactly like For Those Who Have Fart. And then it's just like,
For those who have,
fucking
for
bullshit.
those who have fart, dude, is what it becomes. Why is it every time a band is like, we're going back to our roots, this is the heaviest, darkest record we've ever... It's just the worst.
Bands
it's like
always
the most
promise
neutered...
that and never deliver. They never deliver on it.
Why is that? Why even... I don't know, man.
Can't wait to join that lineup.
They get everybody's hopes up and like reference old albums, like everybody like fan
Yeah, they
favorites,
name
and they're
drop
like,
their own
it's,
stuff.
It's gonna be like so much like this except better. It never is.
I liked, okay, so Slipknot said that about the one with Nero Forte on it. That album was really fucking good. But other than that, I can't think of an example.
I can think of a lot of examples, but I don't want to name drop a bunch of people.
Dude, are we gonna get canceled by the scene?
I just don't.
We're going to lose our Shadow Legend sponsor.
Next question.
All right.
Shout out to our sponsors.
Yeah, dude.
Mott's Apple Juice, thank you.
Shout out sponsors if you're following.
Don't they just make applesauce? I don't even think they make apple juice.
Yeah, Mott's has apple juice.
Are you sure?
Where are you from, dude?
I don't fucking.
Sleeper cell, dude.
So, it's Mandarin in the back of his mind. The next cue is, I would love to hear what inspired you guys to write the albums the way you did. I feel like essentially it goes back to what we were talking about with being like people with no real problems to speak of in this scope of the world. It's not like, you know, we didn't grow up in rough places or have these like terrible things happen to us, which a lot of the world does. Like the majority of the world is in that situation.
And even still, like, say we would have had like traumatic experiences or just anything remotely interesting, like it just gets stale.
It really
Like,
does.
I don't want to hear about certain life experiences over and over again, regardless of what they are. Like it's so recycled. At
And it
this
can
point.
come across as like preachy in the most annoying way.
Yeah,
Very
the preachy
true.
thing very much so.
Yeah, and it's like, yeah, that's a great point, Joe, too, because it's like, what do we have, like, what wisdom do we have that another random dude on the street doesn't have? Like, literally nothing. It's like, we're just, like...
And like honestly, I'm a real smart fucking guy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, really.
So if anyone ought to know.
We're just like really humble. is
Yeah,
what
I
it
was
boils
gonna
down
say,
to.
yeah.
So humble, you wouldn't believe it.
But it's again, too, Joe, what you're talking about with, like, the stuff we enjoyed growing up is, like, you listen to your Alisana or your Black Tongue or, like, any of these records where they pull, like, a story and show you something more that can be accomplished with an album instead of strapping 12 songs together that are, like, a lot of times only related sonically, and that's only because the producer, like, glued them together.
Dude,
Right.
also it's so fun to find Easter eggs in like anything.
Oh
you know
my
what I
gosh, dude.
Dude, for sure.
The
Kind of like
best.
cringy example, but like there's so many in Breaking Bad. You could watch that show like 3 times over and still see things. That
For
are, oh,
real.
cool.
Dude, yeah.
And same thing with music, honestly. Like sonically and just with the storyline. Like in a lot of Alisana records, you're like, oh, okay, so that's what's going on here. Just fun little Easter eggs.
Dude,
I
100%.
like it.
That's like, we bonded over Make Them Suffer big time because of that exact thing. Like when Sean wrote out explanations for this story arc, it's like, you go back and like the songs already hit on an emotional level just because of the way they're written, but then you go back and read it through the lens of like the imagery going on, and it just deepens it so much. So I feel like, yeah, it's basically just because we saw people. It's a combination of like, you know, we don't have a wheel to reinvent, so we're not gonna. I don't know. We're not gonna like Maddie Mullins it and, you know, become the voice of a generation.
Too late. That's me, actually.
Voice, not an echo, baby.
Oh man.
And then the last one that somebody wrote in on that Facebook post was just asking for early stories of forming the band or just fun stories from our time together as a band that would be fun. And dude, this I feel like could be a whole freaking podcast series unto its own.
It really could be.
There's like never are we in the same room and a day goes by where we don't reference some weird thing from when we were starting out or like early tours or just with bizarre stuff.
Pretty much, man. It's kind of crazy to see how we all came together and get to know each other too. You know,
Small world for really
little
all
small
of it.
world.
I still don't know you, and I don't really care to.
Well,
I don't know. What's a
wouldn't
good
ask-
example? What about the first time? We might have to cut this, but the time we heard, Screamin', the audition.
Yeah, we'll code name Mr. Oswald.
Mr. Oswald. That's so good. So we auditioned this guy. We'll call him Mr. Oswald for screaming, even though I was already the screamer. at
I was
this
gonna say the circumstance behind that is almost as insane because Joe at the time you were our vocalist and
founding member.
yeah, and like you were writing the guitar parts at the time. Like there was no gap that we were trying to fill, but then our guitarist at the time, like, just took it upon himself to search Craigslist to find a vocalist and just let us know, hey guys, we have an audition for a vocalist.
Yeah.
This
Gosh
one day of
dang it.
practice.
And in fairness, before that, we did this like we were looking for. No, this was after he joined, wasn't it? When we got Cody.
Yeah,
Did
it was
Oswald
after
come before or after Cody?
He came before. Actually, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Either way, so found this dude on Craigslist, like scene kid seeking metal band, whatever. And for whatever reason, we have to go to his parents' house for this audition. He just has like a pretty empty room with like one futon, and we're just like 3 of us are just like clustered on it. And we're like, oh, okay, so you want to scream? He's like, oh, yeah, sure, I'll do something. And then we heard him scream, attack, stickly for like 3.5 minutes straight, but he didn't sing. He just stood there like, yow! Yow! Just, oh, man, it was so stale and awkward. And then
Stop
afterwards,
talking
he's
about
like,
me, dude.
so what you think? And he swoops his hair out of his face. And then the dude who hit him up was like, fucking, let's go. Take the game, moving on, dude.
That was good, man.
But it was the weirdest combination of like, we had maybe had like 4 practices before that, if
Right.
that. Maybe, that was like within the first probably month or 2 of us forming, and it's like, dude, we didn't know anything about anything, and here we are like sitting here trying to act like we know what we're doing, so we can audition somebody. Like
Yeah,
I didn't
dude.
even know what to look for in an
Yes,
audition.
right.
It's like, and yeah, it was super awkward. He like had a little mic. Did he have a mic plugged into that little amp in his room, or was that okay?
Yeah, it was
just like
just
the
something like-
mic and his iPod both plugged into the same little box amp, and super awkward. Like 3 minutes of sitting there making eye contact with someone as they scream.
Was it a Line 6 Spider? And he had
Yeah,
it
I'm-
on
Actually,
insane.
it probably
He put it
was.
on insane mode. Yo, check this out.
I remember like one of my biggest takeaways from that too was like, I don't really know what this guy's screams sound like because it was like coming through this amp with the music blaring really loud. It's like impossible to discern anything.
For sure. Then somehow or another, he wound up at some practices, and the first one he wound up at, I don't know if you remember this, he tried to steal my iPod. Dude, I'm not kidding. He
What in
straight
the
up
hell?
tried to steal my iPod. I
Like, I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
but
Is that
I
when
did
we?
not know that.
Is that when we hid the cigarettes?
Oh my god.
Oh, that was a different one.
Dude, yeah. Okay, yeah, because he was like 16, 15 or 16. He's like
Yeah.
very young.
We're like, nope.
Chain smoker.
Yeah.
I'm going piss.
Have fun.
Let me see that cup tea.
All right.
Just pause it, dude.
Bruh. And we're back.
You just call the podcast Breh.
Bruh.
Dude.
Dude.
We're talking about other experiences being
Yeah,
in the band.
just like early band stuff. Dude, I feel like we had a very tumultuous first couple of years.
My first band
Love that
practice.
word, Paul.
Thanks.
Tumultuous.
Thanks, Joey.piss.
Dang, dude, that reminds me. I gotta do some landscaping.
Yeah, I got to do some tumultuous stuff myself.
Tyler, keep
My
it
wife's
E10
gonna
plus,
kill me.
buddy.
Right. Sorry.
Yeah. Dude, in the first like 2 years of existing, we cycled through like the Craigslist vocalist, Mr. Oswald, the guitarist who found him, and then like was Nick Benedict in that first couple of years? I'm gonna name drop him just because.
Yeah, I don't care.
I think he fled
Yeah,
the
no,
country.
because we formed in 2013. That was going down by 2015.
That was like 20. That would have been 2016 when he came around.
No, it was 15, dude.
It was 15.
Yeah.
Well, because the tour that he was trying to set up with
You're right. That was
Yeah,
16
it was
because that was the first
Yeah,
half
I
of
think
that.
it was like the tail end of 15 that he came around, though.
I
It
think
was like
it-
starting.
Yeah,
I
I
think it
can
might.
see
I
that.
think you're right because he did nothing. Before,
Yeah,
forever.
literally.
And then he ended up showing up at the one show that we played.
came
at
to a
the
Hoosier Dome show.
Oh,
my
dude.
God.
And he
I'll
buttered
tell
us up.
that
He
one.
buttered us up. He's like, "Yeah, you guys are ready for the road."
Dude.
And then started talking
Also,
about
like,
booking
drunk
us.
as fuck, by the way. Like,
Yeah. Well, and then like this was afterwards, but he was like talking to us. This guy, we picked up a really skeezy manager that we found online, or he found us somehow. This is like in the era of Terry Coughlin,
Right.
like
How's the band?
these like
I worked with
predatory
Icy Stars.
business models. Yeah, like all these businesses cropped up where it's like these guys online touting as like industry experts, hitting up bands that they would find on Reverb Nation, like city by city, grab the top couple bands and just like cold call them. And this kid found us and talked to us, and he was trying to convince us to let him book a tour for us. We're like, okay, sounds good. And then he's like, also, I'm gonna need you guys to drop the fantasycore tag. Like, he's like, that's not gonna sell. And we were like, I don't know, man. It feels like right now that's our only differentiating factor, like our only value add that nobody's really doing at the time. So we kind of just ignored that. And then in setting up this like terrible little tour, he was like trying to convince you to move your family vacation, Tyler. Like he was trying to get that
Yeah,
shifted.
dude.
Yeah,
Tyler
we've-
was in the group
we've-
chat like,
We've had it booked for months. So I was like, guys, like some of these dates of my family vacation overlap. Like when we could do this, as like they're a better opportunity, you know? Because
And
that
the tour's
tour
still being planned.
and
was gonna
Tyler,
say,
Tyler was
Right.
so sincere about it too. Like he sent a message to the chat and he was like, "Hey, like this might be like one of the last opportunities for a long time that I have to spend this much time with my
Yeah,
family
for
all
family.
together,
Yeah.
and
Your
like we're
brother was
going on this
graduating
vacation." And then
or-
yeah.
and then he just like randomly like jumps into the chat and he was like, "I got it worked out, boys. Tyler, you're gonna need to move that family vacation." And we hit the band chat like, "What the hell is wrong with this
Also,
guy?"
just the tone of his voice was like, "Can't believe that worked. Never booked a tour before. This
Yep.
is
It really shows.
do is reach out.
Also, I think he made it was called Drifter at the time. Didn't he like make them pay for like a buy-on for like a run that like never happened?
Yep.
Some weird
He
shit.
screwed a
was
bunch
a
of people.
scumbag,
Yeah,
dude,
yeah.
and that was the tour.
Also, like
first
we
tour
were
he
like
booked-
5,000 likes at that point. You know what I mean?
yeah, exactly."
We were supposed to tour with Drifter, who I actually saw recently is putting out a new album.
Dude,
Oh.
yeah, I'm pretty stoked. They're doing
Really
a little
good.
comeback
I don't
situation.
know who's
Dang.
involved, but
Mitch is in for
Mitch
sure.
posted about it.
Frankie is too. He
good.
commented on because I commented on Mitch's post and he's like, Frankie's like, "Oh, I meant to tell you guys when you were here at Lee's place."
Dude,
That's awesome.
the shows we played with them, and there weren't many, but the shows that we played with them were so much fun. Like even if there
Oh,
weren't
yeah.
that many people there, like it was so much fun to be with them. And
Dude, yeah, they're all great performers and good people. Like,
yeah, and
Super
shout out
rare.
Sleepwaker as well.
for sure.
I don't. Is it just Frankie? Is Frankie the only one from Drifter that's in Sleepwaker?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, I
currently.
think so.
But yeah, the band that became Sleepwaker, we'll call it that, even though that's not true.
Yeah. Dude.
And like, yeah, he sat us down, and it didn't make it so funny in hindsight because like one of the bands he used as a reference was like Attila. He was like, yeah, like it works for Attila. Like they can call themselves like party metal because they're really about partying. But like this fantasy thing, like I just don't think it's gonna play out. Like I do not think you guys are gonna be.
He like insulted it too. He said it was like childish or something like. Really.
This just in.
Well, he is very qualified to gauge childish. It's like
and then we went on that first tour that he booked for us, and like half of the shows got canceled,
Literally.
and like we were like,
or we're just never booked.
yeah, we were like
Yeah,
in the van, like on our phones trying to find venues in that city that we could jump on a show in because we already drove to the damn city and then found out there
We
was
had to do
no
his
show.
job for him, and was that when we ended up going to this like Juggalo Fest or whatever?
Dude, oh my
Yeah.
god, that was
Holy
what
cow.
a weird twist of fate, because that was that exact situation. One of the shows had gotten dropped. Like, we're already driving to the city, and he like shoots us a message or something. Like, didn't even call.
Hey man, one of my friends that's a juggalo has a festival going on in his
He's like,
backyard.
I got good news and bad news. The bad news is the show's canceled. The good news is if you drive to the middle of nowhere, you might be able to hop on this like Juggalo Fest.
On the
It
most
really was
awkward
Juggalo
hill
Fest.
too. Like it was so weird to drive up.
He
As
was
it was
like, I'm
pouring
not gonna contact them really. Like, I'm not gonna get you guys a spot, but like maybe you can talk to them and play in the
Yeah,
acoustic
literally.
tent.
Like maybe you can drive all the way there and then ask if you can play. So we're like, I mean, we're already fucking here.
what the hell
so-
is your job, dude?
Yeah.
And we got the, I think we got the van stuck,
Dude,
right?
we did. That was
Because it was so
that
muddy.
Was like, that just sent it over the edge because we were there, right? And then we're sitting around the. First of all, they're like burning a stack of mattresses
I
and
mean,
like pallets.
juggalos.
God, that's the most whoop shit.
Just reminds me of home, you know?
And we're sitting around for some reason another fire. I think they had more than one, and we were sitting around this fire, and that dude walked up, and he starts talking to us, and he's
Trash
like,
and metalcore, pretty much.
"Yeah, dude." Like he walks up, and he's like, "So who are you guys?" And we were like, "Oh, we're just a band trying to figure out what the hell we're gonna do tonight." Like we thought maybe we'd play a set or something. He was like, "Yeah, like, I mean, I like heavy music, like I like rock music, but when they start screaming and shit at me and they're like rah, 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 and I can't understand them.
That's where they lose me.
That's where I say fuck you. I can't understand you, and then I walk away. And that's exactly how he said it, and I'll never forget that because he was so
And we went.
so adamant
I was
about
the
like,
best part
right
is
there
we went.
with
All,
him.
yeah, Joe went
And
along
Joe-
with it. Like
I was
I
like,
couldn't
oh,
agree
dude,
anymore.
Yeah, that shit is so fucking stupid. right, get out my face,
And
bro.
he was like, but you know who I do listen to? I listen to Psychopathic Records. I like Insane Clown Posse. I like Twisted. And that
Twizzlers.
You ever heard of Fago?
I've never heard more real shit than that
Oh
right
my
there. That's
gosh.
my kind of
Dude, the
music.
Fagos.
And Joe the whole time was like, I hear you, brother. You're
Dude, come
preaching
on,
to the choir.
Come on, Twisted, brother.
Man,
Dude, though, our upbringing has given us this superpower of blending in with Hicks
Oh, dude.
in a way that
And the thing was, like, we tried, like, we realized, like, this is not going anywhere. We do not belong here. And then we go to leave, and the van is stuck in
yeah,
the
it's like
mud.
it wasn't
Gosh.
going anywhere. But neither
And
were
nobody
we.
helped. That was the thing. There were like 100
Yeah.
people there, and they all just watched. Like nobody came to help.
It was
They
the
just
weirdest situation too because they were hosting this like knockoff ICP concert. It was like a festival with a lot of fire pits on this hill, like this grassy
people on
hill.
fire.
in somebody's backyard, mind you. Like this wasn't
This
a
is like on
dedicated
some
venue. This was
dude's
at some random
private
dude's
property,
house.
and everybody's just like parked in the grass on this pretty steep hill, and so.
Stupid.
So we like ramped it up with the van, which at the time was carrying the trailer, which was way too heavy for it, and then whatever, a week later blew the head gasket because it was just overworked. to
really
hell.
did, dude.
Damn.
We just
Tyler
needed-
blew the head gasket, I think.
Dude, that was like the one day that I was like, someone else drive.
And
I still remember because like I looked out the window and it looked like smoke or something. I was like, it's just steam. Everything is fine. And then Tyler was like watching the temperature gauge. He was like, oh shit, guys.
Yeah,
And then
this
it
is,
started smoking like hella. And he was like, everybody out of the car, get out of the car, guys. Like,
well, I pulled over,
You can't
and that's
get
when
so-
smoke just started like billowing out from underneath the hood. I was like,
It was
"All right,
so
get out of the
bad.
car right
like
now. This could
pouring.
blow up,
Yeah.
dude."
But also, just the fact that already we were having to watch the heating gauge.
You know what's screwed up? Like you and I went through like that whole day trying to figure out. Like we went to the like tow place or whatever, the maintenance shop. Tried to figure that out all day. Like had to kill some time and like go to McDonald's while we were making calls and stuff. And like as we're sitting there making calls, I don't know if you remember this. A truck flips at the intersection and like. It was a bad wreck, dude. Yeah, I'm like sitting there, and all of a sudden, I just see this truck flying through the air, and it rolled.
I did not know this happened.
It rolled like 5 times. I was like, oh, it was like this day is just screwed. This whole week is just screwed.
We could have died so many times on it.
I had no
like
idea.
in retrospect, between blindly jumping off of that waterfall, which like seems benign enough, but it's like, dude, so many people paralyze themselves or die that way. But then, like,
or the trip up to the waterfall. Do you remember?
Oh my
gosh.
We fit 7 people in that.
Drove like a madman, and it was like the tiniest, most narrow
it was
road.
a 4-person car. There was a 4-person car with like a compact trunk space, and like a couple people crammed in that trunk space. Then 3 people lined up on the back like bench. I laid across, and then there was the people up front, and we all crammed in there like that. And it was a one-way road, and he's like going 65, 70, like around turns, like just like would honk before the turns.
Gravel too. It's not like it was paved up.
No guardrails, by the way. So like we could just tumble off this mountain.
Yeah.
any second.
My God! And we were so high up, and it was so twisty turvy. Like it was in West Virginia,
This is
right?
out there in West Virginia. This is like Appalachia. And there's it just
Dude got us there alive.
yeah. To his credit. And then honestly, he never did us wrong. Like he was.
Oh, he was a solid
super
guy.
solid. He was just terrifying.
Shout
like,
out to
being
John.
packed up. Yeah. We were all just like stacked in this car, and then he led us out to this waterfall. It was super cool. But
And
like
we were all being big babies to jump, and then that's when Tom, who was like 16 at the time, was like, "I'm gonna jump." We're like, well, no, you're not, because you're the youngest one.
Yeah,
if you die, dude, it's our fault.
Mind you, for this tour, for both of the tours that happened that summer, my parents like sat down and like had a meeting with Paul. Had a meeting with like the whole band, and they were like, "This is our son, protect him." And my parents signed over medical power of attorney to Paul. And I think you actually legally had medical power of attorney over me still until I was 18.
I sure did. I felt like I was taking you to the prom, and your dad was like, "What are your intentions with my son?"
Dude, seriously. I mean, probably more precautions than a lot of people would have taken. And probably in hindsight, like we did jump off a waterfall. It probably was a good call that somebody could take me to the emergency room.
I don't want to make it sound like that was over the top, because that was a freaking unsafe
big
tour.
brain move. Yeah,
that was the same one somebody got held up at gunpoint. At, like,
that was
that was a different one.
Yeah, that was the one with the dinos. That was the first day of that tour. I didn't talk
that happened
about
too
that until years later.
Yeah,
we made an agreement not to tell your dad about that.
There were a lot of things. I've told him now. He's
okay.
He's coping.
Yeah, I remember like we were halfway through a song, and I'm like the last one to notice. I just was like doing my thing, I guess, and Nathan grabs me and was like, "Hey!" and like points out the window. And this dude's got like, and he just got this gun held up to him. I'm like, hey everybody, there's something going on in the parking lot, and like at this
Nathan
time
said it like he out loud. Like I didn't really realize what was going on because he stopped playing and he like was pointing out the window, and I looked over at him and he's pointing and I still didn't see it, and he's like, "That dude's getting robbed. Like there was a gun." And then like everybody looked toward the window, and then like a bunch of people ran outside, and then that dude, I think he stole like $26.
Yeah,
is what he got away with.
The cops got him like a few miles down the road.
Like 3 miles down the road.
Yeah, he didn't make it far. But that was Peoria,
Illinois.
Dude, what a like jarring first show to play. It's like already it's a dingy spot, not your top tier venue situation, and we roll up, we like meet the bands.
But hey, at least we got like pizza.
Did we though?
And at least that night we got our full cut.
I was gonna
Got the guarantee that night, boys.
God, dude, the amount of venues who like pledge to cater for the bands and then just buy Little Caesars as a cop out is insane.
If that, dude,
so much.
I would have been grateful to have Little Caesars every night.
Yeah.
We got one night with pizza, and the rest of it was like nothing.
They would give us,
I actually
like,
think,
money.
ironically, the Wild Rider Saloon also got us pizza.
They did. I remember that because we ate it on their pool table.
remember
Yeah.
And later freaked
One
out
day-
because somebody like sat on the pool table.
I think it was. This is like totally unrelated. I think it was when we played Wild Rider Saloon. It was in West Virginia. It was like that. It was like the band that played before us was like a stoner doom metal band, and like you and I were standing together, and we were trying not to laugh because like this dude was singing, and he was like, "I just wanna get high," and we were like at the back of the venue looking at each other, trying not to be dickheads and laugh about it, but we were like, "Oh my god, no!"
The sound
way."
guy's like actually into it for once. All right.
He was,
Oh,
he
yeah,
was
the
outside. He
yeah,
was
while he
outside
was
into
there.
it.
No, that was
was-
the one band he was inside for.
Yeah.
That was such a like. You run into your fair share of bad sound guys at like hole in the wall venues, but this dude literally checked levels for what the first band or maybe for every band, like when they would step on stage, and then he would just walk outside and chain smoke until they finished playing.
Yeah.
It was like could not be bothered.
He was gone by the time we played our set, wasn't he?
Yeah, he just
I
dipped.
don't remember seeing him.
Yeah.
Dude, I literally, that is like, if I had to put a picture, like some kind of visual to that tour, it was that show. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, I just see that road because it was
burned
in the
in my
middle of
memory.
nowhere. It was in the middle of nowhere, and like it was kind of in this like little dip, this valley almost.
There were no buildings.
And I remember like we just like walked up the road and kind of checked things out and ended up coming back. But it was just like overcast the whole day. I feel like nobody was there like in sight,
the
man.
bands.
And
the
anyone
only
that
people
was there was not there for metal music.
They were there. They were there at the bar. Like,
Yeah, they were there to drink.
At Wild Riders, the Wild Riders.
yeah, they were like
The mild
the only
riders.
people that were there were the regulars
Came
at the
by.
bar, which you can imagine were only like
Dude,
three
you
Probably
people.
talk with
Yeah.
the bartender like, "Hey, gotta turn that jukebox up, brother. You can't hear my Bon Jovi.
Can't hear my
shit
Bon
back."
Jovi. Came running from the hills towards Wild Rider Saloon.
And then like halfway through the set, we just decided like this is bullshit. Like we're just gonna play around.
I think
with
we
this.
decided that before we even started playing, dude.
That was it was one of those deals where it's like the only people at that show, there's like 2 or 3 of the regulars just like drinking to death, and then it was the bands that showed up that were like the rest of the crowd, and then
And
both
they
the
left
bands-
before we played.
the bands played their sets like, hey, we gotta work tomorrow, like good luck.
Yeah.
And
Dip.
if I recall, like one of those bands like asked us to come in for their set,
Yes.
and then left. Like,
100%.
Yeah. Oh my god, I remember. They came out and they were like, "Yeah, we think it's a good idea if we like support each other, like be there for each other's sets." Like, and we were like, "Yeah, for sure, dude." And we went in and we watched their set, and then they dipped immediately after they were done. We were like, "What the hell?"
Tyler, what's the story about the guy who was like, "Wouldn't it be funny if I humped this?"
Oh, yeah, he's pretty much talking about having sex with his girlfriend the whole time, and he was like, he was talking about things that he would, basically like put his dick into, man.
And then this was a dude in one of the other bands
Yeah,
at the
he was like
Wild
talking about his car. He's like, babe, like, wouldn't it be fun if I like to the car? And she was like, stop. And he's like, wouldn't it be fun if I did it to this like stand? And she's like, stop. And he's like, wouldn't it be fun if I did it to you? Yep, it's like classy people around here, dude. Freaking love it, man. But
Dude, do you remember when we were in? Oh, dude, it was the night we played at the Drunk Horse Pub, is what it was called. I can't remember if that was in North or South Carolina, but it was the day that Nathan dude came. He did guest vocals on Chaotica.
Oh yeah,
That would have been
That
North
kid,
Carolina.
that-
I was gone for that show. I had to
dude, no
fly out in the middle of that.
that was a
tour.
great show, actually.
Dude, it really was. And that was his name, Brandon. That dude that came out
Yes.
that went to Cookout with us afterwards.
Yeah, Brandon from Audio Addiction, right?
No,
Or are you talking
different
about a
guy.
No. Oh, the dude who came like he showed up kind of late and was like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
he
yeah,
was
I
like
wanna see
super
you
bummed
guys."
that he missed our
Yeah,
set.
yeah.
And then he went out to eat with us afterwards with In Dying Arms. Because, are you sure you weren't there for this one? Because that was when we went to the Cookout.
Yeah,
and that
he
lady
wasn't
came.
there.
That lady came up to us, and like,
Oh,
Nathan was like,
no.
"He's
I was
16.
there.
He's 16." And she was like, "Damn, honey, I'm trying to show you a good time. You're still a youngin'."
Yeah,
And
she
I
was trying
like,
to get with
Did you
everybody.
hear that I'm 16 though?
Dude.
And that's when Nathan gave, was it, I can't remember which way around it was, but I think Nathan said he was gonna give that lady my number, and then gave her your number,
I don't think so, dude. Because
or was it the other
Nobody-
way? Somebody, I think it was Nathan, gave that lady somebody in the band's number, saying
That's
it was
a Nathan move.
mine. And then she never texted anybody, but he thought it was hilarious.
Dude, I love Nathan for that kind of stuff,
Oh,
though.
me
That's
too.
the only thing I
Granted,
like.
that is hilarious.
Love you, Nathan.
He has like a bit of a Eric Andre streak in him, where he
Well,
just loves to like.
It was the It Lies
poke
Within
people's
thing
buttons.
where
Yeah.
they. Oops, just name dropped.
Got his mic.
And we're back. Anyways, it was on that tour, one of the bands. We were in their hotel room, and these like 16-year-old girls come in, and Nathan was just ruthless. Like, why are you here? And
Grilling
Dude, not even ruthless, just like frank and
Yeah.
like
Until they left, like literally,
Yes,
like
dude.
nonstop.
which honestly, like he's a champion.
Yeah,
for that.
Yeah.
Like he definitely stopped something.
like,
Maybe
these
name
dudes are
dropping.
like 30, and you're 16. Like,
At
leave.
least, dude.
Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe name drop,
super fans.
maybe name dropping isn't a good call, but that's like straight up predatorial shit that they were on.
That's some get you canceled on
That's
Twitter.
some Chris Hansen
like
style.
the whole time they were sitting on the bed and they were my age, very obviously, and I was 16.
Mere children.
And like I was like, oh, one of us. And like the whole time they're sitting on the bed and like the dudes are like hanging around talking about getting.
So do
fucked
you
up.
like our music?
And the entire time they would like laugh about something and Nathan would like mock them and be like, ha, 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 that's really funny. Why are you here? It was so good. And like Nathan, like I don't even think he obviously wasn't even trying to be funny. Like he was very visibly pissed off
Yeah,
about the
no.
situation.
Yeah.
But like inadvertently, that shit was hilarious in hindsight.
That was cool.
It really was.
And like he got him to leave. It was effective. Like they dipped, and like a couple of the dudes in the band were like visibly upset
Yeah.
about it. They were like, "Come on,
Not
dude, that's
cool,
our-
dude.
We were supposed to get some tonight, dude. You just drove off the ladies." It's like maybe find someone.
Anyways, we're going to this like bubble bath club if you want to join us, dude. Or whatever the heck that
They
was.
just don't make rock stars anymore.
And then they accused Joe of being a whisper screamer.
Oh yeah, dude.
Dude, that was rich.
And the whole time, he was like, "Yeah, you're like, I can tell, like, by your technique, you're a whisper screamer," and you were like, "Yeah, I'm not."
Yeah, like
I'm not.
close, dude.
The way he breached it too was so funny because he drew this parallel. He's like, I'm kind of like a Mike Hanukkah from Prada, from Devil Wears Prada, like a wall of noise kind of guy.
Except say it like, I'm like Mike Hanukkah.
every night he'd get up there and just cook his
Yeah,
voice
dude.
with zero technique and all just like pushing from his chest.
And he'd sound like this.
Dude, and he's like, yeah, I'm more like
was-
like a Mike Hanukkah sort of wall noise guy. Like, everybody's got to do that. I'm like, I can tell you're sort of more like a, like Ryan Kirby, sort of like,
Yeah, also, like, Ryan Kirby's not a whisper screamer.
I know,
either.
yeah, exactly.
And the way
that
the
was
way
an
it's like,
example he
It's like a
used.
guy who has no technique trying to explain Fry screaming
Yeah.
to another vocalist, but then like because like I can tell you probably it's like all volume, right? Like you're kind of just
and
like
the way
whispering
he,
a little bit.
the way
Yeah.
he framed it too, you could tell he was kind of tiptoeing around it.
He's
was
trying
like,
to probe you for information, like he's
Yeah.
trying to.
Yeah.
and he was like, yeah,
Like, I've never had anybody better than me on tour.
He was like, yeah, my really good friend Ryan Kirby, who I know very well, and we're very good friends, and I know everything about him, is a whisper screamer.
Ryan Kirby.
And we were like, we didn't say anything there, but like as soon as we left, we were like, I don't think he's a whisper screamer. Like, I do
Yeah,
not think
no.
Ryan Kirby does that
I
at
think
all.
I said that too. I was like, first of all, I don't think Ryan Kirby's a whisper screamer, but like, I am definitely not. Like, not the
just, like-
slightest.
Yeah, all
Like,
you
just
gotta
the-
do is be in the same building.
Yeah.
Just-
Also, I don't think Mike Hanukkah cancels like 3 shows a week due to like his
Yo,
voice being
that was
fucking
the
loud.
realest
God.
thing though. Is he every like third night he would be his vocal cords would be too cooked to perform.
Coughing up blood again today.
We're
gonna have to push.
Almost choked on it last
We're gonna
night.
have to push this one out.
So young and rock star.
Also, can we talk about how painfully obvious it was? Like, we were in Panama City Beach, and that's where all this shit happened at the hotel. And then
Which they were openly bragging about.
Yeah, dude.
First of all, they're shorting us of all of our money. We're staying in this shitty motel, and like that was I think that might have been in Pensacola.
But no, the
Where-
show with like
yeah.
the Bullet for My Valentine looking band with like no one there. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, and
that
like
was
the whole
night
time,
before.
the whole
one
time they were like, they invited us to their hotel room. Like, we got this awesome ass hotel, like right on the beach. Like, come hang out with us, guys. And
Come check it out, dude. This is the
they're-
Days Inn.
they're bragging about their beachside hotel that they're paying like $300 a night to stay in, and meanwhile, like they're not even giving us our like $200 for the shows we were playing. And we were staying.
Hey,
in
well,
this
that's great. We're gonna sleep
garbage
out in the
hotel.
gravel parking lot over here behind the Days Inn.
Keep
So
those $35 nightlies coming at us.
Yeah,
We'll,
right.
Right.
yeah.
If that, dude. If that.
And then we go to leave, and we're going to Jacksonville.
Jacksonville.
We went to Jacksonville from PCB.
That's right.
And like we met up with him that morning because we were like, let's like rendezvous before we head out. And then like he steps out of the car and he was like, yeah, like I'm not feeling so good. I think I'm getting sick, so we're not gonna make it up
We're
to
gonna hang back here for
Jacksonville.
another day.
Yeah, we're not gonna make it up to Jacksonville tonight, guys. Like, do your thing. And then they very clearly did it so they could stay an extra night and party in Panama City Beach. And then we show up to the show and we like talk to the promoter, and we were like, hey, like, where's the money for this show? And they were like, oh, we sent it to him. And he like had the money for all of the bands sent to him and took all of it and didn't even show up for that show.
baby.
Honestly, though, like, something I wanted to talk to you guys about or get your spin on is, like, this whole... I feel like I hear this more and more all the time now is the sentiment, like, there's no real rock stars anymore. Like, they don't make rock stars.
Dude.
And honestly, my knee-jerk is always, thank God.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
real,
That's the
dude.
worst.
less people getting screwed over, dude.
Not only that, but it's like, dude, what is cool about going and trashing a hotel room or, like, being a belligerent
Same.
jerk to
I
people?
know.
Yeah.
Also, like, that's literally, like, the thing. Like, doing things like that is what gives, like, rock this, like, kind of cringy stigma sometimes. You know what I
Yep.
mean?
So true.
I've
true.
thought about this a lot too because it's like, especially because I still live in Bloomington. I still live in a college town, and like obviously like the housing landscape down there is terrible. It is in most college towns. But then I'm like, damn it, like I wish rent was not so ridiculously expensive down here and it wasn't so hard to find a place. And then I see like bullshit videos of people online, like college students, like trashing the shit out of their house, like breaking down doors and shit for fun. It's like, do you understand that you're the problem? Like, this is
Right.
why landlords charge so much to live. Like, they have to take that
They're
into
hedging
account.
against, for every one kid that's reasonable, there's three that are breaking down the door for a
Yeah.
beer
I
pong
agree.
I guess that's the most like comparable thing to like the
Yeah, and,
bullshit
like-
rock star mentality that still exists.
That shit is so obnoxious too. Like, I don't know. Like, just like I need some fuck you out. Like, I think like the most vocal proponent for like, I need some rock star in your band or whatever is MGK.
Oh my
Dude,
god!
There's so many interviews where he's
Yes.
like, I need some fuck you, I need some fuck you. It's like, dude,
no, you don't.
no, you don't. First of all, you are not a rock star. Like, you made a really shitty pop punk kind of album with some shitty
And saying
trap beats
he
on it.
made it is very
I
generous.
know, dude.
That
It
was-
is so clearly right
Like,
by Travis.
yeah, you
Like,
Yes,
didn't- and, like,
100%.
You
That's
just
not a-
offended so many people, Joe.
I don't care, dude. That album was bad. Like Jez and I actually listened to some of it like last night. We were like joking around about it, and like I haven't even listened to the album all the way through still because I don't want to. But like I put on like the he made like a whole ass like short film type thing,
I saw.
dude. And first of all, the dialogue in it is
It's
so
cringe,
bad.
dude.
Like
that
it's
should be a
so
future
bad.
segment is where we all get together and just like all like take as long as we can and just like tap out from cringe and react.
Oh.
to it.
Yeah,
That'd
when we
be
can
awesome.
watch that ill-advised Sumerian Records, the movie.
Oh, dude, I still haven't seen that.
Yeah,
I saw like the
same.
trailer on YouTube and I
Or
almost
what is it
pooped
called?
in my pants. I was so secondhand embarrassed.
American Satan.
Probably. Dude, that also
Something
like,
like
what a contrived name. We're
Yeah.
like, yo, American Vandal, American Graffiti. Like, what is an iconic but like super edgy but like very original name that we can bring
And then the
up?
vocalist of Black Veil Brides is like, well, let me tell you.
I think I got some. You're gonna want to sit down for this one.
Yeah, it's American Satan.
Jiminy Christmas.
Badass.
But like the thing, so MGK's record, I don't mind it. I don't think it's terrible. It's not reinventing any wheels, which is fine. They don't all have to. But when he walks around and trashes people and says like, nobody's a real rock star, it's because you don't wear Doc Martens. Like that's his criterion.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
God.
he literally be like, bro, you got people walking around playing quote unquote rock music wearing Vans because they're comfortable. Are you kidding me? It's like no. Explain, please. Like, what part about rock means like the more uncomfortable your clothes are, the better you are at
Dude,
it?
for real.
Just the like the the idea of that is so anti what everybody that was like punk
Yeah.
rock was actually about.
Seriously.
It's like, hey, like be more rock star by like
Fit our
going
format
fitting
better.
in.
by going
Yeah,
with
dude,
the grain.
exactly.
It's like
Also,
what
like-
the hell?
Like, I don't know, just like off the top of my head, like bands that don't do the fucking like Doc Martens and spikes on your shoulders like issues, right? Like they're probably on stage in some like comfortable shorts and shoes. They're like outdoing so many of the bands on Warped, especially a lot of the ones with
Yeah,
the Doc
man.
Martens. You know what I mean?
100%.
Yup.
Like,
Like-
if that's your value proposition, you're gonna get lost. But also, it's an issue of punk. Basically, the idea of punk is like there's no such thing as exclusivity in this genre. So it's like to gatekeep punk
Yeah.
is such
Especially when you're
a
MGK.
paradox. Especially
Pretty
when
much.
you're not even like a whatever. Yeah.
Especially like 1 week of like good album sales, and he's just like
From a
I'm gonna
ghost
face
from a
the scene.
ghost written
Yeah.
pink knockoff. Yeah.
I'm gonna face this. I need some fuck you. I need some fuck you, dude.
I feel
It's
like
coming right up.
I feel like if
Serve
you're
it on
going
a
to
silver
like
platter.
try to go with the format and like have like a classic stage presence. Like if you're trying to send a message with your stage presence, like wearing something like Doc Martens or shit like that, like that's not going to do anything for anybody. And like if your stage presence is going to be a big thing, then you really need to go like all out with it and not just change your outfit, if that makes sense. Like
Yeah.
artists like Guar and shit like that, like where they just go like totally
It's a
outlandish.
production.
Yeah, it needs to be a production, or it just needs to be standard, I
And
think.
also, it's like, what about looking up the Wikipedia page on punk rock outfit? What about that is unique and punk? It's like if you just mimic the last 20 years, 50 years of punk, how is that individualism or like rebellion?
But if people stop doing it, how will I know what not to listen to?
So true.
Get on their Spotify profile and I'm like, yo,
Nikki Sixx.
yeah,
You gotta wear Converse, you gotta wear bootcut jeans that you've owned for 30 years that look like shit, and you gotta smell like dog
Well,
shit.
you
too
don't
when
have
go
to
on
own them. You
stage.
can buy them distressed.
Also, like, what about MGK is like super fuck you anyway? The dude wears like all pink, which is fine. I think that's a cool look, but it's not like I don't look at that and
I
I'm
don't
like,
know.
oh, I'm scared of that.
it's kind of insensitive of you.
very- Fuck you.
He's honestly just like tried so hard to like set his own precedent. Like he's trying so hard to make himself like look like that rock star image, but like that's coming from nothing.
Yeah.
Like there is nothing to like give everybody the cue like, "Hey, this guy's a rock star. Maybe you should realize it." It's like, "No, you made a couple of really shitty hip hop albums and then it stopped working."
Yeah, pretty
So then you put out a pop punk album and then people started paying attention again. Like it took you switching genres to become more relevant again.
Can we just cancel him here and now? Let's take a vote.
Sorry about
Everyone say aye.
MGK is the kind of guy though to actually hear this
Bro,
and
fuck
call us out.
Bro, meet me in the parking lot.
MGK, the type of dude to
that.
cancel
He's gonna start
Also,
making.
you fuck you, bro.
He's gonna make diss
Rips his
diss
shirt
tracks
off, dude.
on the Wiseman Sphere.
His mouth just always like 50% to the side.
Bruh.
I don't know about that.
So you guys
I'll
heard
have
it
Travis
here.
Barker jump you.
We're real good friends.
A yikes. MGK gets a yikes from me. From
It's a
the bottom
yikes.
of my heart.
It's a yikes for
Yikes.
me. It's an extra yikes.
Eminem like gets a yikes.
Don't talk shit about Coulson.
Dude, honestly, if you meet a girl and she refers to any artist by their first names, like The
For
Weeknd
real.
Abel or MGK as Coulson, you need to run.
That
Run.
is
Like
weird.
I love Abel's music. Shut the fuck up, dude. God damn.
That's a pretty good litmus test.
It kind of is.
I feel like there's a handful of indicators where it's like, if she does that, it's like, reconsider, my friend.
Yeah.
For me, it's usually Rick and Morty.
Like watching it is good though. Like if she can't laugh at Rick and Morty, she's probably not smart enough to be around.
Right.
Oh my god.
Oh, hey, Morty, we need the Szechuan sauce. Oh, we Rick. Rick and Morty season 72 coming to Adult Swim.
Joe, I've told you so many times, dude. We need to get you on some voice acting gigs, dude.
true.
You would crush him.
How
I
could
could
you say
listen to
something
that.
so controversial? It's so great.
We should next time we do this. We should set up set up video for it as well.
We talked
Or
about
at least
that.
eventually. Like, I think it would be.
Yeah, I
more
think we
immersive.
need to figure out a format if we're gonna do that, just because that'll be a lot of footage.
Also, I think it's so much more valuable if you can see what Joe's doing when he does stupid shit like, oh,
Dude, we'll put the live ones on OnlyFans, dude.
Ah,
You
there
have
you
to
go.
make money.
For me, it's a. The way that the pitch curves off at the end.
Ooh, Morty, I'm about to shit myself. And some 12-year-old's like,
And that 12-year-old is 30 and he's everywhere.
oh, fuck, and he's coming all over his My Little Pony pillow.
His little pickle Rick is going insane.
the jar is almost
Pickle,
full.
dude, I didn't even get my Pickle Rick part in. That's for next episode. We're going to shit on Rick and Morty a lot on this podcast, I hope so. At least I am.
What about the Big
If
Bang
you like
Theory?
it, it's fine.
You like the Big Bang Theory, Joe? Is that your favorite?
Close second, dude. Bazinga!
It's like funny because he's like this awkward guy.
But he's really smart!
Penny, can we have sex? No, Sheldon. Bazinga! I'm gay.
Yeah, quantum physics! The string theory!
Dude, what would you... All right. Great, would you rather? Would you rather hang out with the Rick and Morty... Like, your textbook Reddit Rick and Morty fan.
Oh, God.
Textbook Facebook mom who loves Big Bang Theory, or an avid subscriber to Lame Goat?
Probably the Facebook mom for the
Yeah, same.
Big Bang Theory, because like at least they like probably cook a bomb lasagna or something. You get good.
Yeah.
Something useful.
Cut that. All right, let's re-ask the question.
Got his mic.
I gotta say, Joe, you have the best would you rathers of anyone I've ever heard consistently for years since I've known you.
Thank you.
Every time you drop a would you rather, which is pretty frequent, it's always gut wrenching to answer because it really makes you get in that headspace.
Really makes you think, dude.
And for this reason, I choose jumping off the Empire State. Dude, I'm gonna. What was the third option? I forgot.
Lame Goat subscriber. Like an avid, like the dude who
Damn
prides
it.
himself on being
I still think
a
the Facebook-
top comment.
I think that'd be
Facebook
the
Bazinga
worst
mom.
one. Honestly. Metal
probably.
elitists are the worst people.
I'm
in
gonna
the
say, I'm gonna say like the Rick and Morty kid, and just try to,
Salvage anything.
or just
dude.
try to steer the conversation into like talk about like I don't know, something socially productive, so he has nothing to say the whole time. And
being an incel.
Yeah, but then at some point he's gonna be like, post it a best win.
or he'll just like laugh to himself and kind of look to the side and wait for you to say, "What's so funny?"
Oh, you wouldn't get it.
You wouldn't get it.
Take a drag off. You wouldn't get it. But here's my thing.
Blows it in your face.
Joker brain
on you.
douchebag.
At least I feel like that the incel kid is at least maybe shy enough that he would only force that stuff on you if it's topical. Lamb Goat kid is gonna find a way.
True.
He's gonna find a way to nuke the conversation. And Facebook, the Facebook mom is like one of the most deep, multi-layered, like.
I think you're giving him too much credit.
I say like the obnoxion, the level, the factor of like every aspect of life is just like
Oh, those crazy
The
minions.
Bazinga Facebook mom are also the ones that share the minion memes too.
100%.
Have a good day, and it's a minion smiling.
And they have these like very
Thanks,
racial
Deborah.
hot takes that they're not aware of.
Oh, dude, that's true. Like the Big
Like,
Bang.
imagine getting conversed with for a full day from like a minion hucking like. The lasagna smells good.
I was gonna say,
The lasagna smells good, but it's in there for 45 minutes.
so you gotta wait 45 minutes till that lasagna's out of the oven.
And you know the only thing on is news that whole 45 minutes, and she's not gonna not talk about each of the stories,
Fuck.
and it's gonna be a
I
hot
mean,
take.
but come on, you gotta admit it would be kind of fun to just like slip into that and like be like, yeah, I
For like
agree.
20 minutes.
if I had
I
one
don't know
of
if
you
I can hold
guys
the
there
character.
with me to like to pull a juggalo around the fire pit.
Right.
Yeah, I really hate those those harsh vocals.
That's
Yeah.
true. Like in a normal situation, like if I would have been one-on-one with that guy, I would have wanted to kill myself.
Yeah.
But like, since like we were all there, like I
Who's
look
that?
back on that fondly because that was hilarious.
Tom, what's your answer? Who are you picking?
Oh, dude, I don't know. Now I'm thinking about it a little more. I was gonna go with the Facebook mom.
That's why I'm saying this is Joe's got the would you
telling
rather's
you.
because the longer you think about it, the more screwed
Yeah, because
you
that's
are.
a good point. Like what you brought, like they're gonna have some pretty hot takes. Like,
Really, all of them are probably.
Right.
yeah, but like I think the Facebook mom, like you said, racial hot takes. Like they're
think,
gonna have the news on, and they're gonna be like the Blue Lives Matter head ass moms.
Yeah.
And
I think
I don't know if I could do that.
as much
on
as I
top of the Big
just
Bang
shit
Theory
on
shit.
Rick and Morty, I'm going the Rick and Morty kid. Because
Yeah.
a lot of times they do like other like things that you can steer them off onto, like Paul said. Like,
At least have other interests.
hey, you see the
potentially,
new Pokemon trailer?
I don't know, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I
Actually,
feel
I left
like
a
Rub
review
off
of
the
it.
scent.
I feel like the average Rick and Morty fan, I'm into enough nerdy shit that like I could find like a common thread that I could talk
Dude,
to
and
them
like
about.
honestly, I don't mind that show. It's fun. But I'm not like shouting from the rooftops about it.
Right,
is
I was
this
gonna
guy?
say I know plenty of Rick and Morty, but that's also why you're not in a position of power in this band.
AKA vocalist number one.
Paul, you mind muting the mic real quick and leaving the room?
Oh, yeah, sure.
We gotta talk between the three. Just so, dude, I will never forget that you did that at Joe's graduation. Though, just dead silence in that gym. Joe's walking across the stage, and everybody starts clapping, and you just hear Paul go, "Yeah!" Echoes in that gym.
There's
dude.
got
It's
to
the
be a
most
video of it
excitement.
somewhere. Someone has to have
I
a video.
hope
My
We've got to
favorite
find
thing
it.
about it is it's probably on tape, and it's probably like nobody that we know, and they're gonna watch it with their family at some
We're
point.
gonna fucking find them.
That's right. And we're gonna knock on all 15 doors in Frankfurt, Indiana until we do.
Did you say all 15 doors? Dang, dude, I think they got at least 17.
Anyway, here's Tyler with the freestyle.
Yeah, yeah. Wise Guys podcast going nice. Gonna have to cut everything out. Yeah, beans and rice. Cody Chambers and Paul, take your help.
Chilies and beans. Beans going chili. Beans belong in chili. If you say it wrong, you're silly.
And yeah, Tom plays bass. He's worthless.
You just handed it off to Tom, and then
I'm
you just
kidding.
you
I'm
handed
sorry.
it off to
Thomas,
Tom,
by
and
the
just
way.
like pushed him back and got to the front of the line.
I concur. I'm fucking worthless.
Beats over, bud.
We were done like 30 seconds ago.
You've obviously never seen 8 Mile.
Buckabee, I don't like a fella. Like a bomber dime, like a my trailer.
Now Eminem's gonna find us.
I love Marshall.
Yeah, Mark.
This is the
Michael
best first
songs.
and last episode of the Wise Guys ever, man.
He's just like comes like walking up the stairs. He's just like,
Heard you sneak this and while my feet's cribbing in them. That's roughly how it comes.
Dude, why would Oscar have a great Eminem? What's the Muppet?
oh, the trash can dude, right? From
yeah,
Sesame
yeah.
Street.
Oscar Grouch.
Oscar Grouch.
Dude, he would have a kick-ass Eminem.
Wait, are you thinking
impersonation.
Cookie Monster?
I might be.
Nah, dude, Oscar the
Oscar
Grouch, the
doesn't
green
have that.
dude with the in the trash
I guess
can.
so. He's pretty raspy.
He was raised on the streets too. Like he's got that.
Tell you what, I just can't believe my tax money went towards that show. They should have canceled it a lot sooner than they did.
Now, what did we get out of it? A literate generation. Well, I tell you, literacy.
Look,
I've had it.
Overrated.
I've had it for years.
it's you're not. I mean, you don't just become a libtard overnight. You got to start somewhere, and it started with
There's
Sesame
a whole
Street.
lot of brainwashing before that
and
point.
a lot of soy consumption.
Elmo is genderqueer.
No way. Oh my God.
Cut that.
What's that thing about Mr. Potato Head that's recently been
Oh yeah, he's
ripping around?
The thing is, I
got a
guess it
dump
was
truck?
a little bit out of context. Like they
That's
just
the
like
new option.
removed his gender from like the product description, but it's still being sold as Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head. So I don't really know.
Yeah,
what
that's
the deal
very
is.
that's framed very out of context
I know.
then because people are losing their shit
Oh, yeah.
about it.
For real, I have so many people on my Facebook that are like, I used to laugh at this stuff, but now it's just sad. Shut the fuck up.
Why do you give a shit?
Yeah, I know.
why
Like
do you
one
care
person
so-
comes like,
Hey man,
Like, literally public outcry about Mr. Potato Head. Like, come on.
When was the
See,
last
this
time
is-
you fucked a Mr. Potato? It's been at least 3 weeks for me.
Right. But this is what I'm talking about when it comes down to like the hierarchy of needs and why we can't write about stuff that's not in a fantasy context, because it's like this is the big issue right now in our peer
community.
group is like
Yeah.
this is really rustling feathers in the white.
Thanks a lot, Biden.
Yeah, for real.
Tell you what, they need to get rid of that Paw Patrol dog. It's too far.
It's way too hot for TV.
Yeah, I'll tell you that. A lot of violence on that show.
Paw Patrol. I think
That
it's a
was
great
a-
show. Paw Patrol's great. I know a lot of the pups on it. They're great dogs. I've known those dogs
they're
for
good
many
boys.
years. They're good boys.
That was like
Come here, rascal.
people unironically were like making that a thing though. Like first of all, like people, it seems ridiculous, but people were calling for the dog's name is Chase, and they were like remove the police dog from Paw Patrol, and that's stupid. But like
I want to
people-
see Chase's head.
But people were literally like changing their profile pictures. Like there was a filter on Facebook for profile pictures, and it was like it said like it had a picture of the dog, and it was like I stand with Chase. It's like, oh my god, are you so like not self-aware?
Also, like,
Don't realize what you're doing.
I'm like so stoked for you too that that's your big problem right now. Like,
Good for you.
So many people are never gonna get their life into that corner where they have to. That's what they get.
They're
to
worried
worry
about Paw
about.
Patrol.
Also, sometimes I feel like old Mark Zuckerberg sitting there. He's like at his desk watching Facebook spiral out of control. He didn't make the Paw Patrol filter, but it's there, and people are repping Paw Patrol, and he's like, "Stop!" He's looking for the kill switch, but they took it away.
Somebody install me a new brain.
Yeah, for real. This must end tonight.
Dude, I mean, for real, that guy has. I almost wonder if he feels super out of control, and like this thing got way too big.
I wonder
for
if
his
he has
britches.
feelings at all.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember?
point.
Do you remember the live stream?
replacement for Zuckerberg?
Do you remember the
Testing out some new Facebook filters today. Love this one. Great work, team.
Yeah. Hey, is that what?
Shutting down.
Well, there was the like live stream where like him and another staff member like where were like bubbles over like this third world record or third world country wreckage. Yeah, it just was like, and here we are in like wherever after the
Cambodia.
after the earthquake, and they're just like sipping on coffee, like making jokes and like laughing and stuff. I'm like, holy crap.
So out of touch.
But what's wild to me is maybe this was on Joe Rogan, but I feel like somebody who knew him well was talking about, this could have been a Tim Ferriss thing, about how good of a grasp he has on humanity and like society, and like how
That's nuts to me.
how deeply he understands people. And that took me by surprise, because seeing him blink one time is like enough to throw me off that scent. But people talking about how he like understands, to a degree it has to be true, because he engineered the crap out of Facebook and figured out everybody's dopamine receptors and all that. But like, at what cost?
Yeah,
I mean, he's
he
definitely
is-
a genius, but also he's weird as hell.
Dude, he's the original AI, man. What if he
You know?
is an intelligent machine? Actually, I just watched the Life Beyond 2 last night. Do you remember we watched the first one in the studio, I think?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's a guy that
that
like it's a
concept series.
crazy like
The alien.
SFX artist, yeah, and he like does all this stuff.
Are you talking about Ted Cruz?
Yeah, talking about Ted Cruz and going to Mexico, dude.
Love it.
But dude, watch that. I think you'd get a kick out of it.
Yeah, I should.
Talks about how like basically the chain of evolution is like going to not necessarily end with, but get to where like just intelligent machines are like the next phase.
The
And
apex.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
That's-
that's fascinating.
Dude, that's a consensus among a lot of people in that, I don't know, you can't even call it an industry, but that arena where like emulated brains and artificial intelligence is sort of projected to be kind of the end all be all. Like,
Right.
it's not, they will progress, but there's not going to be anything that can supersede them that comes
No,
after that.
because there's
especially
not the like
biological.
biological. Yeah, I was gonna say there's not the biological like limitations that other
It's like,
life
if you
near
have,
carbon-based life forms.
Yeah, but it's like if you have a brain that's powered by electricity and processing power is what's backing it, you can just put more processing power into it and make it run faster. So it's like you can
effectively blast like 1,000 years of civilization and technological advancement at a rate that we can't even process. Like, you can blast all of that just if you have enough electricity and enough processing speed. Inject it into a minute of time.
Yep.
10 seconds of time.
Nuts.
Yeah.
It's gonna be the end of us here soon. I'll tell you that.
Did we have any more questions from the Facebook comments?
That was all the band related questions that we had on the comments.
Nice.
It's probably a good spot to call it for that first episode, I think.
That was fun. I'm sure we'll get more organized as we go.
I hope not. That was a blast. I loved that.
Got a blast. I like that.
A little remix of it.
All right.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Thanks for tuning in.
Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button if you like Szechuan sauce, Morty. I'm Pickle Rick!